Hello. Welcome to the school committee meeting of July 10th, 2025. This meeting will be conducted in a hybrid format. Attendance by school committee members may be in person or remote, and both types of attendance shall count towards quorum. This meeting is open to the public and will be broadcast by ECAT. In person tonight, we have Lauren Loomis, Colleen Proudler, Jim Hamilton, and Kelly Percio. And participating
recording in progress
remotely is Jackie Weissman. Since this is a hybrid meeting, all votes will be by roll call. If any of the members of the public here in person, which no one is here, but if anyone who is watching and would like to run over, if you would, any members of the public would wish to make a comment during the public comment period, you will be invited to do so, and we ask you to state your name and address for the record. Okay, let's go to our first agenda item, which is a discussion and vote to approve technology fees for 2025-2026. Dr. Cabral.
Thank you, Vice Chair.
Thank you.
Acting Chair.
Thank you.
Loomis. We have the Instructional Technology Director, Olivia Ramos, here. As you are aware, we are adjusting our one-to-one program this year for technology. However, there are some recommendations from the technology department in terms of the equipment that will be used by students, and Director Ramos is here to go over the proposal that you have in your packets and to answer any questions. Please feel free to go ahead, Director Ramos.
Thank you. So you should have the presentation that I shared. I can also put it on my screen. I don't know if you can see it from where you are. I can do that.
That would be helpful for the public. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm doing that now. Okay, so essentially, because we are changing our format for the coming school year and moving from a model where we were one-to-one across the board, we are now going to be mainly one-to-one at the high school. That does mean, however, that we need to think about how we're collecting fees for damage to devices. So the proposed fees are outlined here. What we have been doing, past practice has been to collect $178 per device should a device be that fee has been in place for ages since before I arrived here. The reality is that that fee doesn't cover the actual of a device when it is destroyed for whatever reason, and we are no longer able to utilize it and redeploy it. The reality is that prices are increasing, as with everything, and the minimum for us to be able to purchase the cheapest Chromebook would be the price point that we have here. We also have not been charging for things such as keyboards, trackpads, motherboards, additional pieces that we tend to have to repair and replace quite frequently. These are things that we've sort of gone to our graveyard, so to speak. We Frankenstein together devices. Moving to a cart model means that we are likely going to have less devices in for repair. There tends to be a lot less damage when students only have the devices during the school day. They're much more monitored. It's not going home in a backpack. It's not getting that wear and tear. So therefore, we won't have that sort of graveyard with all those additional pieces. We'll actually have to purchase them when repairs need to be made, which means we need the funds to do that. Now, in terms of charging students, we kind of, as a technology department, decided there would be different categories for when and how they would be charged. What we normally do currently is that normal wear and tear, we don't charge for those things. It's not the student's fault. It tends to happen to anyone. We all have devices that we have for a few years and they start slowing down, parts break down. That's normal. We wouldn't want to charge for just normal wear and tear and repairs, such as, the battery dying, small scrapes, replacing a cable here or there. There's also accidental physical damage. So thinking about things like if a device is broken, a screen is broken, things are cracked, keyboard goes broken, keys are ripped off of it. Those things can happen either because student might be a little bit less careful. Maybe we've had lots of accidental Chromebook drownings with the water bottles leaking into backpacks, things like that. And for those students, what we usually do is the first time something like that happens, we would waive the charge. It would sort of be a warning. We would flag that, hey, we've already replaced this once. And if it happens again, then we would have to charge, sort of a lesson, a learning lesson. Let's take better care of the device. And then the following time, we would likely be charging them. And then, of course, there's the intentional damage. That does occur. It is something that when it is done intentionally, then we would charge the student. So things like punching a screen and breaking it, throwing a Chromebook down the stairs, that sort of thing. If we know that it was done, it's not an accident, then we would charge the student. That's sort of the model we've had up until now. We would continue that with the new price point. Now we understand that not everyone can afford to pay these types of fees. If a student is free, reduced, low income, we make adjustments for those. I normally work with building administration to do sort of restorative practices if it's an intentional damage situation, come up with different ways to be able to remedy the situation without going to the level of having to charge them. Another thing we're bringing in for next year is optional insurance. So we do have plans to roll out at the beginning of the school year. The option to, if you'd like to avoid the Chromebook fees and you want to take a precautionary measure, we are going to be offering an insurance that would cover loss, theft, intentional, non-intentional damage. It's a $20 cost to the family. They pay that up front at the beginning of the school year, and essentially the insurance company will then reimburse us for the fees that we have listed. So families could choose to either preemptively pay the $20 fee and sort of be safe from any potential costs, or they could, hey, my student's really responsible. I don't want to do that. They could just go without and be subject to fees if need be. Now, I did provide in the packet some links to other towns, some of their fees, their fee structures. I will tell you that most towns are changing things up. We actually had a call with tech directors recently, a sustainability call to discuss the state of where things are currently. Most tech directors are facing the same problem. There's not enough money to sustain one-to-one support. A lot of districts are going back to carts. A lot of districts are thinking about increasing or changing up their fee structure. The insurance program is something that's very common in districts. So those are just some things to keep in mind as we talk about these fees. And then finally, just some ideas of some of the damage that we see on a very, very regular basis. These are just some pictures of throughout the school year, some of the things that we are and are not able to replace. And obviously, with limited funds moving into next year. We still don't know what our capital allocation, if anything, will be provided for technology next year for the town or from the town. We're looking at how we can have revenue coming in to replace devices as they die down. So I will move back to the fees page.
Livia, just so you know, your voice is going in and out. I don't know if there's something that's muffling a little bit, your microphone, but your voice is going in and out a little bit.
There's nothing on my mic.
Okay.
Could be the connection, sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
And then if you had any questions, happy to discuss.
Just, if I could just add something before the questions, or two things. One, the repair of the Chromebooks, also, we need to keep in mind that we have reduced our tech team this year due to budget cuts, and so the number of repairs and the amount of time it's gonna take to get repairs done is gonna be extended, and we're asking for patience on that. But this.
Nope.
It might just not be working because it is on. Can you hear me? I can talk a little louder, try to project to Ms. Proudler. Sorry about that. How's this? Better? Okay. I think that's no problem. Okay. So just a quick repeat, for us to keep in mind, while Director Ramos did a great job and was very thorough about the goods, I just wanted to reiterate about the services. We have reduced our tech team this year due to the budget reductions, and so repairs are going to be more difficult for the team to get done, and certainly in as timely a manner as they have done in the past. So that is also a consideration. And then the second thing is, like I said, it was very thorough what was presented, but for people who may not have seen the work in front of them, just a quick recap. We are not charging students who are going to be issued Chromebooks. They're going to get the Chromebooks free of charge, as we have in the past. Those students that are in a one-to-one, they are not going to be charged Chromebooks that they use during the day that are on carts. This is strictly for any repair that needs to be done. Students, again, accidental things happen. They will be given that one opportunity to have accidental repairs fixed, and then the charge would come on the second repair. And that, just to add a little more clarity, that does not mean if a screen is broken and needs to be repaired, it needs to be a screen broken the next time to have a charge. Any repair, whether it's a keyboard, even if the first repair was the screen, just again to be clear. And anything that is considered potentially an intentional damage to the computer would be investigated by administration first and confirmed. And of course, the insurance is going to be offered to anyone that is nervous maybe about their student being in possession of the Chromebook throughout the year. So I really thank Director Amos for looking at comparable districts, proactively putting in the insurance option for parents. And we will be communicating all of this if, of course, you vote to implement this in the district. So if you have any questions, I will turn it over to the director. And then we ask for your consideration.
I have questions.
I have some questions, yes.
Yeah.
Why don't you go first with your questions?
Sure. Director Ramos, thank you. Your presentation was very thorough. I do just have a couple clarifying questions. So if we take something like the battery replacement or anything else that was on that list that was not previously charged for, does that $20 or whatever the charge is cover, is it, I guess, revenue neutral? The battery can be purchased and the labor can be done for the $20, or is this just?
Yes, so essentially the labor is just, it's being paid via everyone's salary, and the battery we would get reimbursed via the insurance company for the purchase of it. So there would be no additional cost. Any of these fees would be covered by that one-time $20 charged insurance.
Okay. And I guess my other question, it might be splitting hairs, the accidental damage versus intentional damage.
That's what I was wondering.
I guess my thought process is if someone just accidentally completely destroys their laptop, or it can't be proven that it was intentional, could that be a way to just continue to get new laptops? Because it seems like if you get flags cleared if a student's given a replacement device, my thought process would be if I got a flag and I damaged my laptop again, I would just accidentally destroy it completely and get a brand new machine and get my flags wiped.
That's why we do work with building administration. So when something happens with the device and it is completely destroyed, oftentimes it's building administration or teachers that are alerting us even prior to the student. We will work with them. Building administration will usually investigate, and then based on whatever comes of it, we'll make an appropriate determination of was it intentional, was it accidental, what transpired. And usually we're quite aware of those frequent flyers who try to sort of skirt the boundaries and do something to get a fully replaced device.
You may be surprised at how many confessions, for a lack of a better term, that are readily provided to us, and how much is actually on camera on the buses and in the schools. And there's usually witnesses. It usually involves other students, and so it's not as difficult to ascertain as it might seem that it would be.
Okay. I think that's it for now. Thank you.
I think I'm not following a piece of it. Are we charging for these items today? I know there's a one-time fee that you said we charge.
No.
We are charging for an entire Chromebook replacement. So if the device is completely destroyed, we cannot fix it, we need to give them a new one, we will charge for the replacement. We are currently only charging $178.
That's what I want to confirm. Okay.
That would not cover the cost of purchasing a new device, so we are in the negative every time we do that.
Got it. So the change is a few things. So we're changing what we do in terms of the accidental damage, and we're changing because we're adding more options in terms of the pieces that can get charged for as opposed to the whole device. Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure I understood the differential on.
And the insurance option.
And the insurance option exists. And the insurance, does that cover what appears to be intentional, or is that really only for accidental? I
It
assume.
covers all of it.
Okay.
Oh, it's intentional too.
Okay.
Yes.
And on the insurance, that's only for those who have one-to-ones?
Yes, it would be for the students who are issued devices to themselves. It does also cover, so for example, if a student breaks the device, it's in for repair, they're issued a loaner, it would be transferable to the loaner.
Got it. Okay.
And we also, for those people that are aware of costs of Chromebooks or maybe work in the industry, when Director Ramos says we have the least expensive Chromebook, it's the least expensive Chromebook with the features needed for state MCAS testing and other testing. So there may be less expensive models, but this is the least expensive that carries or supports the programs that we are required to use.
That makes sense. Thank you.
You see Jackie has her hand up too.
Okay. The current state of Chromebooks, so some are quite cobbled together. So I assume when someone receives a Chromebook, if it seems like one of these things is already an issue, that would just be something we document or the families document beforehand. The bottom case is already cracked the day I got it, kind of thing.
Yes, and over the summer, what we normally do is we collect back all devices, we repair all of them. So ideally, no one should be receiving anything next year that is cracked.
Got it.
We don't issue those. They would
Yeah.
need to let us know right away if they see that, and we would reissue another device.
Got it. Okay. And then my last question is around situations of I'll call it bullying, although that's probably not the quite right term, but individuals where a friend or not so friend chooses to damage someone else's Chromebook. So I assume in those situations, the person who caused the damage, whether it's to their own Chromebook or not, is the one who is held under these guidelines in terms of flagging or intentional damage. I reached over, I drew on Lauren's Chromebook because I thought it was funny and cute, and now she gets the flag. The actual situation will be the person who causes it gets the flag.
Yes, we've had those situations occur before. We would never penalize the student who wasn't at fault. It's whoever caused the damage would incur charges.
I assumed such, but I'm sure that there are families who would express concern about that
No,
situation.
that's a great clarification, thank you.
So, thank you. That's all my questions.
Jackie?
Thank you. So I came in a few minutes late, so I apologize if you covered this and I just missed it. So if we're getting away from one-to-one, so who is getting one-to-one now? Is everyone getting one-to-one and then we're slowly moving away from it? Is there only a certain group that gets one-to-one?
So we are moving back to carts for K to 7. We are actually in the process of creating carts. There are enough currently for almost every single student to have access to a device at the same time in each building. That number will likely go down as our purchasing and our fleet ages. But at this point in time, they just won't be taking them home. They won't be with them 24/7. It will be at the teacher's discretion to go and take the devices from the carts. Now, obviously, for our older students, particularly our 9th to 12th graders, they have different needs. They use them all the time. So for them, we are keeping those devices one-to-one. We're actually reissuing new devices to 9th graders and coming 9th graders next year, so that we're trying to keep that at an age that's they're all functioning and they're all going to be able to do what they need to do in terms of MCAS or requirements for different classes, for the softwares that they're using. So it's really our younger learners that are going to have a more monitored and lesser access in terms of bringing things home with devices.
So thank you. Do we still have, weren't elementary school, the lower elementary school, didn't they have, was it like an iPad they had, not a Chromebook?
No, so they all have Chromebooks. They have
Okay.
had Chromebooks. We do issue iPads usually for special education needs. So there
Okay.
are some programs or some features that are only available on iPads. Usually we will be informed by student services of a student that is requiring that, sometimes for a 504. For those purposes, we will provide iPads, but that's a much smaller fleet and more of an as-need basis.
Okay,
Jackie,
thank you very much.
You are, Jackie,
She is
recalling,
correct, right.
you are recalling that we did, before we went one-to-one, we did provide iPads for the younger grades. When we moved to one-to-one, we moved to Chromebooks for everyone. So
Okay.
that was a former model before we moved to the one-to-one model.
Okay, thank you very
That's what
much.
you're recalling, sure.
Can I just, do you have a question?
Two quick questions.
Okay.
You can go.
Well, my question is about the CART program, but,
Yeah, go for it.
okay. So I just want to clarify that the $20 insurance is only if you have one-to-one, so that's only high school students. And however, K through, I think you said 7, so it was 8 through 12 who's going to be one-to-one, and K through 7 is going to be on carts. So they are not eligible for insurance, but yet responsible for the repairs.
So the reality is that when the devices are in carts, there isn't actually as much damage. In our younger grades, the damage tends to happen when the devices are going home.
Okay.
They're transporting from place to place. So it really isn't as much of a need to have the extensive fees at the younger grades.
Okay.
Now, that being said, if someone chucks their device down the stairs, it's school property, just like if they ripped up a school book. We would likely be charging them for the device. But our anticipation is that, or our expectation is that it would be a very rare issue. We do have a few students who will have devices directly assigned to them. Those are for special education need or for other sort of special circumstances. For those students, since the device is issued to them, if they would like to participate in the insurance program, they would be able to.
Okay, thank you. So just I would like to understand more about the CART program. So will a Chromebook be assigned to a student in their classroom, but they put it back into the cart? So they pick up the same one every day?
No, so there will be a cart assigned to either a classroom or 2 classrooms, depending on building and how many we have available. The teacher will instruct when they would like the students to go and get devices. They are not necessarily picking up the same device each time. Now, some teachers like to say, always take, the second device off of the cart. They do like to assign on their own. We are not assigning the devices. We're assigning the carts to the individual rooms.
Okay, so the same obviously goes for in the middle school when they go from class to class, they would pass their Chromebook back in to the teacher and then go to their other class and get a new Chromebook.
If they require it, not every teacher needs the Chromebook every single day, if at all, depending on what the class is. For example, physical education, they don't use them as much. So what would happen is, yes, when they moved from class to class, if the teacher wanted them to use a device, they would say, go to the cart, get a device, they'd utilize it, put it back, move on to the next class.
Okay.
And unfortunately, in our current trajectory, what we anticipate is it may, over time, if finances don't change, over time with the reduction of the devices as they age out, we'll be going back to the former system that we had, if you remember, before we had one-to-one, where there are carts for teachers to sign out and have brought to their classroom, so there wouldn't be. Okay, well, audience members may remember that carts would be, there would be an advanced reservation on the cart and it would come, so it's not an assignment student to device.
Okay.
Paper and pen.
Yeah.
But we can't afford paper either, so it's
Right.
just a pen.
I think they had cards at the very end of my school career when laptops became a thing that we could get in the classroom.
TVs came in carts.
Yes, me too.
Apple IIe.
We have film strips.
Yes. Okay, sorry, I have one more question. Sorry, Colleen.
She's totally taking your time.
Did I hear you correctly say that the 9th graders, or I assume 8th graders, or whoever is starting with the one-to-one, they're going to be getting new Chromebooks to start?
The 9th graders are getting new Chromebooks.
Not
So
8th graders, okay.
not 8th graders. What we had been doing prior was every time we purchased new devices was giving them to the incoming 3rd graders, incoming 6th graders, and incoming 9th graders. We were trying to reduce the age of our fleet by doing so. We've now decided to do the incoming 9th graders because obviously they still need really functioning devices because of how much they're using them. And then the rest are being parsed out between the other 3 buildings to go into parts as needed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Colleen.
2 questions. For under intentional damage, when it says stickers, do you just mean just plain old, like, little stickers on the outside of the case? Is that something that's not allowed? Or am I misreading that? No.
So they should not be putting stickers on devices, but let me just I'll just read the section. Yes, so sometimes stickers will destroy essentially the outer shell. So stickers, drawing, painting, anything like that. Obviously, if you can remove the sticker and it doesn't cause any damage, don't worry about it. But if it if it's depending on what you're putting on, or glue or anything of that nature, yes, that would be part of intentional damage.
Okay. And then my other question was, well, I'm just making an assumption that even if a parent has taken the insurance and a child intentionally breaks or destroys a laptop, the cost of the laptop is covered, but that doesn't preclude school administration from giving them consequences if they're on the investigation, they realize that the child did it intentionally, just like they would be in trouble for anything else. It just, the financial aspect of it doesn't fall back on the family, correct?
Yes, so when it's intentional, like I said, we work with building administrators. They deal with the discipline piece, and normally there is some action that they take on their part, and then we deal with the financial piece of ensuring that we're able to replace the device. So yes, both would be occurring at this time.
Perfect, thank you. Question.
I actually have one more question, I'm sorry. Director Ramos, has the technology department tracked historically these types of damages or number of replacements of Chromebooks?
Yes, so we, this past year, just looking at this year, for example, there were 15 total devices that needed replacement. Outside of that, we had 318 repairs of varying nature. So any of those other pieces that you see on the fee list would have covered that. But devices that could not be salvaged at all were only 15.
Okay, thank you.
I just have a comment because I can't help myself but to say it. When we move to the CART program, can we continue to encourage cleanliness of devices so people aren't coughing all over their Chromebook and putting it back on a cart and then the next person picks up all of that? And I realize that that sort of exists on desks and handrails and all the things, but you just put a lot of fingers on keyboards over time.
Of course, and we do sanitize them over the summer when we take them back to
I'm sure.
evaluate all of them.
Yeah.
We do sanitize, so they come out squeaky clean.
Yeah, I'm not sure they stay squeaky clean, having
Yes,
seen
we know.
Chromebooks, and so it's better, I'm sure, in a classroom where they're not able to like eat over it, but still, it just over time those can get quite unpleasant.
Yes, and we do have some fabulous teachers who we get them back in pristine condition because they encourage, wipe it down. They take care of it in the classroom. So kudos to them for helping us out with that.
Okay. So, we have any more questions? Jackie, do you have any more questions? No? Okay. Okay. So, I do this. I'd like to make a motion
To ask, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
Sorry, no, yeah,
You
go.
can make a motion, but you can ask if there's a
Oh,
motion also.
Okay. Would
If
someone
someone
like to
else
make a
would.
motion to approve technology fees for 2025, 26?
So moved, Percia.
Second, Wiseman.
Okay, roll call vote. Do I start?
Yeah, however you want to do it. Wiseman, yes.
Loomis, yes.
Percia, yes.
Proudler, yes.
Hamilton, yes.
All right. Thanks, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, George Ramos. This is great.
Okay. So we have a discussion and vote to approve replacement of carpet in OA High School auditorium. Dr. Cabral.
Thank you, and I will ask Director Kopaz if he can go to the podium because we do have a microphone there. Director Kopaz is the Director of Facilities and Operations. He's presenting to you this evening a proposal to replace the carpet in the Dalrymple Auditorium. Now, because of our financial situation, we are looking to take this money appropriately out of the naming fund, as there's a naming committee, subcommittee of the school committee for donations for naming of certain areas. We do have donations that were made for the Dalrymple Auditorium, and we do have available funding. And so he's going to present the quotes and information to you, and again, answer any questions that you might have. Director?
Thank you. Good evening. How is everybody?
Great.
Good.
Well,
Good.
Thank you.
Enough rain?
Yeah.
Because I'm done with it.
Yes, I think you can make it stop now.
I can do that.
Okay.
At one point in time in life, I had a good conversation with him for 22 years. So you have two price proposals in front of you. one for 24,000 plus and another for 65,000 plus. The 24,000 plus is just for the lower bowl area of replacing the carpet, okay? Everybody has seen it. You can see it's fraying on the side, on the sides, down the carpet, the bowl area, and up on the, as you walk up and down. The carpet is approximately 17 to 20 years old. So carpet typically has a 10-year, you can push 15-year life on it, depending on the use, where it's at. You can extend that life. Looking at this carpet that's almost 20 years old, it's time to start replacing all the carpet. I would propose the $65,148 to replace all the carpet within the seating sections only, right? So that's the lower bowl, the walk areas up to each seat on upper and lower. And then there's a solid transition strip that will cut off when you go off to the left and right to walk to the front. And then at another year, when we can have better funding, we can do where you walk in from the doors and down and all the gallery seating areas. So but
Beyond the obvious aesthetic concerns, there does present trip risk, liability, and
there is some safety issues there as well.
so it is something that we are looking to do sooner rather than later.
The other part I'll tell you is that I have dealt with Milliken carpet for a very, very long time. These are the best prices I've ever seen. And Milliken commercial grade carpet is used all over. It's an environmentally friendly organization. It's carpet tiles. You spill it, you spill something on it, and if you can't get it off, which I will tell you, I'll be very surprised if you can't get it off, and I will tell you how I know this. Back in the day, Home Depot sold Milliken carpet. I put it in my house. I had friends over. One of the wives spilled wine on it, right? And she's like, oh my God, you just did this. And she said, yeah, what's the matter? I went over with a piece of paper towel or whatever it was, blotted it up, gone. And I said, if there's a problem, I just peel it up. We got to redo it. It's a tile. What do you mean? She couldn't even tell it was a tile. But what I tell you, the way they make this carpet, water won't penetrate it. And if in another 20 years, if you like it, they still have the dye lot number. So if you wanted to, you could send it back and have it re-dyed. So it is an extremely environmental friendly carpet and company, and it will last.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So are these two separate projects, or is this option A and B?
So I'll say option A and B.
Okay.
Okay, so $24,950 is just the lower bowl, and that's all that it is. $65,148 is the lower bowl, all the walkways, all where the seating area is, right? And then we have a solid transition strip where you would walk off to go to the balcony areas. And what that also includes is that for all the stairs, there's new nosing, transition strips, it'll all be new.
Okay. Do you have a question?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have questions?
Just real quick. So
Okay.
the money to pay for this comes from this fund, from the naming committee, right? So the money that would be used to pay for this is not money that can be used for other things like salaries or Chromebooks or technology. It has to be used in conjunction with that particular facility. Am I correct?
I would
With
have to-
maintaining
yes,
the
with maintaining.
facilities, not
Okay.
necessarily the Dalrymple Auditorium, but yes, it can only be for this purpose to maintain upgrade, repair facilities, yes.
So for people at home who might be concerned because
Yes,
we are in such tough financial straits, this money could be used to repair something or can sit there. It's not like we
Correct.
can pass it into some other aspect of the school budget.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
How much money is in the naming fund today?
There's $150,686.39.
And
If-
that's, sorry,
Nope. I was gonna say, if you select, we'll say, the lower bowl is A, you subtract that 24 out, you're at about 125, 736.39. If you say, we're gonna vote yes or do B, which is the 65,000, the balance would be about 85,538.39.
and that is
If
in
my
some
calculator
sort
was
of,
right.
that is some sort of investment fund? Like, does it have any interest on it, or is it sitting just at flat? Like, does it grow at all over time?
It does earn interest as applied by the town treasurer's office.
Okay.
And I don't know if she projected, so it,
Sorry.
right, no, it does accrue interest per the town treasurer's office.
Jim?
When would be the projected start of the project and end date of the project? Like,
It
will this affect
is-
September?
We're still early. If you were to all vote for either one of them, my first call tomorrow morning. My understanding, it's still ready, available, so there's a good possibility it could be done before the beginning of school. So we could get it done over the summer. Now, I would have to confirm that.
And it would be the same design and color
So
lot? No,
that's,
different.
it's almost 20, it's different. The principal has it downstairs. I thought about it sitting there, I should have grabbed it, but she did, her and whoever she had, they chose the color.
Okay.
So I learned a long time ago not to do that.
Okay. Okay, so, does anyone else have any more questions?
Jackie's
Oh,
hand is up.
Jackie, you have a question? Okay, sorry, I didn't see your hand
It's in
up.
the corner.
That's okay.
to see.
I know.
Thanks. So you guys asked most of my questions. Thank you. But I have two quick questions. Is there a warranty on this product, and what is the warranty?
So the warranty, well, the installation warranties are typically a 1-year warranty. The carpet, I would have to go and take a look at the data specifications on the warranty side. So
Okay.
I don't have an actual answer on the carpet itself, but my experience, it lasts. And I can get you
Okay.
that, I can get you that information.
All right, thank you. And then my other question is there a concern, given our budget constraints and what other facility repairs we may need over the next couple of years, of taking such a big chunk of the naming fund out for this? Are there other anticipated costs that you kind of see coming down the road that we may need to save some of this for? Or is this a big enough concern that it warrants using this big chunk of money?
That's a very good question. We have been looking at this need for a few years now. We are at the point where some of the higher used areas are getting close to, obviously we wouldn't have it open right now if they were a risk factor, but getting close to a risk factor. And with the window of opportunity to get it done this summer before all of the use this school year, we believe that we need to use this opportunity of this window now, because what we don't want to do is have to take sections of the auditorium offline or have it repaired during the school year when that wouldn't be optimal. So we do believe this is necessary at this time. At least the lower bowl. The lower bowl is in the most state of disrepair. So that is a choice that you have. There are some areas elsewhere, but the lower bowl is, if we're going to have a critical need, that is what I would say is the critical need at this point.
But I'd also like to add with
Yes,
that,
please.
at this time, I'm just going to round it up, lower bowls, 25,000. We do it a year from now, that's 65, could be 75, could be 68, right? So I just keep that in mind.
That's true.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry, I did have one other question. Did you have questions as well? So this Milliken product, you said it's environmentally friendly. Can you share a little bit more on that? And is that the product we're using today?
So that is not the product that's down there. The product that's down there is probably a Shaw product, right? The environmental friendly is they give back to the environment, the way they make it, the way they recycle it. Again, 20 years from now, if you still like it, they have it, you can send it back to them, they re-dye it, they send it back to you. So, and they just don't do carpet. They do luxury vinyl tiles, planks. The environmental friendly part of the organization is they really give back to the environment.
In terms of their footprint.
In terms of their footprint, in terms of how they make their carpet. Again, if a lot of places said, I like that carpet, and they sent it back, re-dye it, that's a savings right there. The carpet is used throughout airports, universities, a lot of big institutions.
But we don't have a sense of like, if there's any chemical concerns or anything like that, or do we?
No, I've never had that, and I put it in San Diego State. They also used it in their new buildings.
And did we get other quotes? I know you're just presenting these to us, but in terms of other carpet options
So
that might be more affordable or other
No,
vendors?
so the quotes are out of the MEHAC contract, which we can purchase through without getting other quotes.
Okay.
That just means it's a pre-vetted process.
Yes.
The state pre-vets the vendors that are on there for fair and equitable pricing.
Okay. So did we receive multiple quotes through that process, or we just got one?
When you use the MEHAC contract, you don't have to get multiple quotes because they already follow 30B.
Okay. And that applies for the carpet material as well as
Yes.
the and as well as the vendor who
Yes.
does the work.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, no more questions?
May I ask, if we didn't have this money coming from the naming committee fund, would it be coming out of capital, I assume? Would this be considered capital?
No, because we don't
We don't
have
have
capital
capital.
for that right now. Most likely it would come out of the maintenance revolving account, which right now is what we're relying on for more unanticipated expenses of this nature. That's actually, to your question earlier, that's what we're trying to preserve at this point for those kinds of expenses.
I think that's what I was trying to think through or concerned about is with the security project, if capital funds are tighter,
Yeah.
if we go through the 65,000, we're taking a big chunk of the naming convention money.
Right.
And
Were
then
you-
the revolving maintenance would, in theory, be used less, but is still probably at risk in the next year or so, 2 years.
Right, we're trying to stick to the most applicable use of each account fund.
Right.
And so this very closely aligns with the intention of the naming campaign. And so it makes sense to use it for that because another expense may come up that is not as aligned to the intention of the campaign. And the revolving account gives us more latitude.
Okay. I think as I'm just thinking through options
Yeah.
A or B.
Naming committee folks. I know you're one of them. I don't remember who else is with you. On
Just
that.
me.
You too. Okay.
Oh, it's you too? Oh,
Also,
And it is, and to that point, that is actually something that the public may not know. So the naming committee has been sort of in at
Pause.
rest for a little
Yes.
while, pause. That is actively starting again. So while we're talking about using that, there is a concerted effort to build that again, build that amount again. Especially with the new building, there's a lot of opportunity for naming at Blanche Ames. And so, again, that is something that we see increasing much more than the revenue of the revolving account. And so that's another reason that we're looking to the naming campaign fund for this instead of revolving.
Thank you. That
And Dr. Cabral, if you can, I might be remembering this incorrectly, but a lot of the money that is in that fund now actually came from donations to get the Dalrymple Auditorium named the Dalrymple Auditorium.
Correct. So it is not actually required that the exact amount donated for a particular space be used for that space, but it definitely was part of our consideration when we're looking for the most applicable uses. The Dalrymple Auditorium donations would very closely virtually cover the cost of both bowls, the bowl and the upper seating, which is another reason that we chose that, because if we have an unanticipated cost coming in the future, there may not be such a direct correlation. So we're trying to use things that are most applicable to the most restrictive funds before moving to the funds with the most latitude.
So that does answer the question I was going to ask about the naming committee, that there is certainly opportunity to utilize the spaces through Blanche Ames for additional naming, which has not been exercised up to this point.
And actually additional spaces in the other buildings that just were not part of the original list.
Okay, awesome. Sorry, I had another thought that came. Just to also clarify, I believe this to be true, but I should confirm this. The Dalrymple Auditorium is one of our more highly rented places as well, correct? So we
Yes,
do receive
absolutely.
a lot of interest in using that space.
Yes.
Excuse me, in addition to the use by the school. So
Yes.
it's one of our more,
Heavily utilized by the school as well.
correct.
Yep,
Yes.
And not just Oliver Ames, but all the other schools too. Lots of performances there.
yep. Lots of events are held there where families can enjoy the
Yes.
wonder of that their children create. Yep. Okay, thank you.
So I'd like to, Jackie, I'd like to answer your question about the warranty. I'm just going to read it because I love Google, right? Milken warranties against excessive wear, often defined as a percentage loss of face fiber over a specific period, such as 10 years with some limitations for stairs. So it depends, again, it all depends on the use. Stairs will have a different warranty length of time, where general flat space is basically a 10-year warranty, as I read this. Whew. I really knock off the cobwebs for this one.
Okay. Dr. Cabral, can I have some guidance on how, or Jackie or someone, do we make a motion on each of them and then, because we need to agree on which one we're voting on, right?
Yeah, you can just ask for whoever wants to make a motion for whichever option, and then people can vote if they agree with that option, and if they don't, then you make a motion on the other option. You just
Okay.
have to choose which
Someone-
option you want to make a motion on.
Okay, thank you. Would someone like to make a motion on
Either one.
either one?
Okay, I'll make a motion.
I'm still debating.
Yeah,
Convince me, Jackie.
I'm going to make a motion to approve the funding for the 65,000 plus repair to cover the lower bowl, the walking sections, or I guess the larger sections of the carpet for the OA auditorium.
Second.
I'm sorry, utilizing the name.
Utilizing the funds in the naming campaign.
Thank you.
Second, Loomis. Okay, roll call vote.
Wiseman, yes.
Loomis, yes.
Percio, yes.
Adler, yes.
Hamilton, no.
Okay, so that is 4-1.
The
Yes,
65,000.
for the 65,000.
Yep. I
Okay.
support those concerns, but I do fear the price is going to go up significantly in the current climate, and that we could end up having to do it anyway. So. I also ask you both to find us some money. This is my
working on
plea
it.
for the
Okay,
general
okay,
public
okay.
and naming community to find their money.
I have a 7 o'clock hard stop.
I see. Okay.
Vote to approve new banner sponsors. Dr. Duval.
The school committee policy is to review the vendors that will be on displays for property that the school committee oversees. You have the complete list of approved vendors right now. You will see that your school committee secretary has highlighted in red for you the new additions. They include Auburn Construction, B&B Landscaping, Bay Cove Technology, Easton Youth Football, Fairway Landscape, Plumbers Supply, and WB Mason. And so that is for your consideration to vote for approval. That just means that they have proposed sponsoring one of our either athletic teams or clubs or activities and would like to have their company advertised. And so they can move ahead with that pending your review and approval.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions or comments on any of the sponsors?
Just one clarification. Highlighted in yellow is not a new sponsor.
Highlighted in yellow is a sponsor that previously had been rejected by the school committee.
Okay. But it's not coming back up for us to discuss
No.
again. Okay.
No, it's just there for the historical information.
Anyone have any other questions? No? Jackie, questions? Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve the new banner sponsors?
So moved, Percio?
Second, Hamilton.
Okay, roll call vote.
Wiseman, yes.
Loomis, yes.
Percio, yes.
Proudler, yes.
Hamilton, yes.
Okay. Okay. We have, the next is a second reading for the discussion on the policies AC, non-discrimination, and ACA, non-discrimination on the basis of sex. AC is no changes, and that's just reverting to the former policy.
Correct. So these are second readings. Jackie, please feel free to interrupt me if you'd like. These are second readings, which means they are, you can vote on them this evening if you'd like. The AC, as Lauren said, there were no changes. It's just reverting back based on new changes to the law. And ACA has changed based on the direction that the director of DEIA provided at the last meeting. And also that the contact for Title IX is the assistant superintendent and for students and the director of human resources for personnel. Other than that, it is the change in the law, which, just to refresh your memory, instead of qualifying for Title IX, if it's severe or pervasive, it is now severe and pervasive. So it's a higher standard for qualification.
And
Again,
that's-
based on the federal law.
That's AC or ACA?
ACA.
It's ACA, okay.
Jackie, I don't know if you wanted to add or clarify anything.
Nope, that's it. So we just need to vote on these policies so that we can get them back into our policy manual.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? Okay. Okay, so let's start for AC. Anyone want to make a motion to approve AC non-discrimination?
Wiseman, so moved.
Percio, second.
Roll call vote.
Wiseman, yes.
Loomis, yes.
Percio, yes.
Proudler, yes.
Hamilton, yes.
Okay. Okay, so that one. And we have Director on here.
Director Perez, do you want to add anything, or if the school committee, of course, has any questions?
Okay.
I don't think they did, though. but-
Okay, so the next one
I'm
is.
sorry, I believe the one you guys were voting on, AC, was going to originally be removed, not because it's a repeat.
Okay.
So AC non-discrimination had nothing to do with sexual harassment. The only reason it's on there is because we're reverting back, but really it was a repeat. So we should And this, if you want to hold on this vote until I'm back and can clarify which one it is duplicate to, then we can do that then. But weren't it's a duplicate. So we were looking to move it actually.
Okay, important clarification, thank you. So your recommendation is to remove policy AC,
Or to table it?
or to table it if you wanted to review the duplicated policy.
Correct, because I want to make sure that I'm giving the right recommendation.
So what's the recommendation to table it?
To either eliminate it, or if you want to see, because we don't have it for you this evening, if you want to see what it's duplicating, to table it.
Okay. I would like a motion to table AC, non-discrimination, to compare it with what we are eliminating.
You're making a motion to table
Motion.
it.
Did we
Motion.
already vote on AC?
You did?
Yes, so,
So you're voting to reconsider, yes?
yeah.
Okay.
Does anyone want to second that?
Wiseman, second.
Okay. Or so move it. Yeah, sorry, I'm new.
All right, did you move it, Lauren, or do you want me to
I
move
made
it?
the motion,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
moved it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you're moving it?
No, if you make the motion, it's moved.
Oh.
So now she,
So I seconded it,
Yep.
seconded it.
Okay, roll call vote.
Wiseman, yes.
Loomis, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Prowler, yes?
Hamilton, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us, that was very helpful.
Okay,
ACA.
so now ACA. Would anyone like to make a motion on ACA?
I'll make a motion to approve the revisions to ACA and the reversion to this policy. Wiseman?
Okay, so second, Loomis. A roll call vote.
Wiseman, yes.
Loomis, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Prowler, yes?
Hamilton, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, that was a little rusty.
You're doing great.
Okay. So the next is to approve minutes. I would like to table the executive session minutes that are from Friday, April 25th. Wednesday, March 19th. Tuesday, April 8th. Tuesday, June 3rd. Wednesday, June 25th. Wednesday, March 19th. Tuesday, April 8th. Am I saying the same ones over again?
No?
Okay.
There's workshop minutes,
There's-
so I think there's two sets you're going through.
Okay.
So there are workshop meeting minutes where we
Okay.
Um,
So I'm sorry. So
call to order the executive session, so that's why it feels like there's duplicates.
okay.
So,
So are you saying you are tabling the executive session minutes listed for further discussion in executive
Exactly.
session? Okay.
Exactly.
and is that all executive session minutes or specific?
All executive session.
Well, some of them just have to be revised. It's not necessarily to discuss in an executive session. It's just, there's some that have to be edits, yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
So that's why we're tabling them, not just holding them.
I see.
Okay. So I'm sorry. So I'll go over the dates again. Okay. So it is April 8th, March 19th, April 25th. May 8th. May 22nd. I think June 3rd, we probably could, let's table June 3rd too.
I don't believe there is any,
There's
yeah.
a June 3rd executive session.
Right.
Yes, I was just looking at
But I
that.
think we could
It
probably,
looks like we got March 19th executive session,
in June 12th.
April 8th, April 17th, April 25th, May 8th,
June 25th.
May 22nd, everyone, and then June 3rd.
Yep, okay,
All the executive sessions I have.
okay.
So are we tabling all executive
We're
session minutes?
tabling all executive session minutes. Do we need to vote on that, Jackie?
Yes.
Okay.
And we're
So-
tabling them for further review and edits, is that correct?
Correct. Okay. So would anyone like to make a motion to table all of the executive session minutes?
Wiseman, so moved.
Loomis, second. Roll call vote.
Wiseman, yes.
Loomis, yes.
Perseo, yes?
Proudler, yes.
Hamilton, yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So now we have,
Workshop minutes and just normal school committee minutes, it looks like.
yes. So we have April 25th.
June 12th, I think, is the other. Normal school committee?
The school committee is just
June 12th.
according to the agenda.
June 12th.
April 25th and June 12th.
April 25th and June.
And then there are four workshop meeting notes. I have them in piles, if that helps.
So
The agenda
that's
does
just a-
not have the April 25th on it,
It just
so
says June 12th.
it just says June 12th.
it has April 25th as a workshop.
So we may not be able to approve those
Okay.
if they are not a workshop. I'm looking at June 25th, and what I see here,
These are all the workshops that I found.
it looks like it was
And I
to
have
open a workshop.
Just normal school
Yeah,
committee,
which-
April 25th. and
Yep,
June
so
Probably
that
fine.
would still, but yeah, but that's not on here. Is there something we can
Oh,
approve
this is an
today?
executive.
It's a workshop and executive session. So the executive session was tabled, so it's a workshop.
Okay, so let's just go by the,
This
what's
one's
on the
not
agenda.
stated as a workshop.
So let's
June 25th?
make a,
Sorry.
does anyone have any questions on, or comments or edits on the June 12th school committee meeting?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I'm so sorry.
Any questions
Okay.
or edits for June 12th school committee meeting? No?
Think so.
No? You were reviewing it.
I thought I had seen something when I looked at it on my screen at
Okay.
home, so I'm
Oh.
just double checking one thing.
I don't know if this matters, sorry. Page 5, it says I was unable to attend the retirement celebration, but I was able to.
That is an important edit.
Does that actually matter?
Yes, it does.
Yes, yes, exactly.
No, it does. Yeah.
I was the one actually who said I wasn't able to attend. So I think those two things got merged together because I had commented not being able to attend.
Okay. So, so we have that edit that Jim was able to attend and Kelly was not able to attend the retirement celebration. Okay, so does Lynn have that? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So what do we do now?
You can make a motion to approve those minutes with an edit, so noted.
Okay. So I make a motion to approve the minutes with the edit noted for the school committee meeting on Thursday, June 12th.
Wiseman second.
Roll call vote.
Well, sorry, Wiseman, yes.
Loomis, yes.
Pursue, yes?
Proudly, yes.
Hamilton, yes.
Okay. So now we have workshop minutes.
So in attempting to piece this together, I believe that the Friday, April 25th one may have been updated to be titled a workshop. And that might be our source of confusion.
Oh, it's the April 25th. It does not say workshop.
It does not on this copy, but I thought we had received a last minute. I had that noted. It was listed under workshop here, and I thought, sorry, I'm just going to my email here.
Yeah, it's not listed here as in the title as a workshop, the one that's in the electronic folder. However, in the upper left corner, it says 4/25/2025 WKS.
So you could approve it with the edit to change it to
To a
workshop.
workshop,
so that
yes.
it's
Okay.
more clear.
I think that's what caused our confusion.
Yes, agreed.
Okay. Okay, so I make a motion, and I'm sorry, what date was that?
It was Friday, April 25th.
Needs to be noted that it is
A workshop.
Okay.
Yep.
So I make a motion to approve with the edit noted to change the school committee minutes to a workshop minutes for Friday, April 25th.
Wiseman second.
Roll call vote.
Wiseman, yes.
Loomis, yes.
Pursue, yes.
Proudly, yes.
Hamilton, yes.
Okay. Okay, so we have,
All others, we have to now check for.
okay. So now we have workshop minutes for March 19th, April 8th, June 3rd, June 12th, and June 25th. Does anyone have any comments on those? Any questions, comments, edits?
Just give me one moment to be right. This was the scholarship one. That was the part that I didn't see. The scholarship one, I was not in attendance. So on the roll call vote, that is a mistake because I was not able to attend the
Okay,
scholarship one.
so that's June 3rd.
Tuesday, June 3rd. The roll call vote, I think the person who is missing, it's just a typo, I think. No, I'm sorry, it says a 4-0 roll call vote. My name was listed, but it just needs to be removed.
Okay.
So it should have been Wiseman, yes, Loomis, yes,
Yeah,
Hamilton, yes,
got
and
it.
Butler, yes.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve with the edit to remove Perseo, yes, from the minutes of the workshop on Tuesday, June 3rd,
But otherwise approved.
but otherwise approve.
Wiseman second.
Roll call vote.
Wiseman, yes.
Loomis, yes.
Pursue, yes.
Proudly, yes.
Hamilton, yes.
Okay. Okay, so now that was,
Okay, again, a minor edit, but perhaps relevant. The workshop on Wednesday, June 25th, I was not present for the workshop. I only joined the executive session because I had to join late. I don't know that that matters, but it does note that I attended the workshop remotely. And
No, that definitely matters because in the minutes it'll say what time you joined the executive
it does
session.
say that in the executive session minutes, so that is captured correctly. So on Wednesday, June 25th, if it could be noted that if my name could be removed, the end of it struck, where it says Lauren Loomis and Kelly Versio attended remotely, just remove the N Kelly Versio.
But you did attend.
I did not attend the workshop. The
But it
workshop was to
wasn't
open.
it a workshop to open?
The executive
attended the
session, I
executive-
joined the executive
There are
session.
minutes for the executive session, and her attendance would be noted there.
And it is noted in the draft that I have seen. I did not join the workshop, only the executive session.
Yeah, so that's fine. We can take your name out of the opening.
I'm just not listed on the vote either, so I just wouldn't want to cause a reference issue.
Okay. I make a motion to approve the workshop session meeting minutes from Wednesday, June 25th with the edit noted.
Wiseman, second.
Roll call vote.
Wiseman, yes.
Loomis, yes.
Versio, yes?
Proudler, yes.
Hamilton, yes.
Okay. So that is June 25th, which wasn't even on the, oh yeah, it is, okay. Okay, so we have March 19th, April 8th, and June 12th.
So April 8th isn't listed on the one that's here, that it's a workshop. I don't know if it does for yours.
It does say on the top. It is.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, does anyone have any,
Who was that?
she's one of our new students.
Okay. I don't see her listed.
Okay, so we'll just add her.
Okay.
Can you say that out loud for Lynn?
Yep,
So-
I was trying to make sure I had this right
Yep.
because I was not
So-
actually in attendance. So this is for the Thursday, June 12th school committee workshop minutes. One of our new students, Lindsay, was not listed and nor was Bobby, I believe. I believe the new students are the ones that are not listed at the top of the list of those who are in attendance.
Yep.
So if we could just add the new students to
And I'll send you their names, Lynn.
to the attendees. They are noted in the commentary below.
Okay, so,
I couldn't tell if that was a typo or a new student.
okay.
Yep, so that is Thursday, June 12th. I will make a motion to approve with noted edits of adding the new attendees.
So moved, Loomis. Roll call vote. Oh, second, someone needs a second.
Wiseman, second.
Roll call vote.
Wiseman, yeah.
Loomis, yes.
Versio, yes.
Proudler, yes.
Hamilton, yes.
Okay, so that's June 12th, and so we have March 19th and April 8th.
I have no edits this time. Sorry.
Okay, so I make a motion to approve the workshop meeting minutes from March 19th and April 8th.
Versio, second.
Roll call vote.
Wiseman, yes.
Loomis, yes.
Versio, yes.
Proudler, yes.
Hamilton, yes.
Okay. So, schedule of payments. We have approved warrant 081S. We have public comments, but we have no one here.
No public.
So we have no public comments, so superintendent notes.
A few things that I need to fill you in on that are very recent developments. I have sent you information on this, obviously not for discussion and not for questioning, so if you have any questions and are able to answer, we will. If we aren't, we'll get you that information right away. Some of these are developing, and so as we get more information, I'll just push that information out to you. The first is that there is a recent Supreme Court decision that is going to affect our policies, procedures, handbooks, and there are going to be changes that we need to make. That is a decision that I forwarded to you about opt-outs on religious objections for parents. And so we need to have an opt-out procedure. We need to make sure that it's captured, and legal is helping us with that. So that's something in progress. Director Perez will be working with legal counsel on making sure that all that is in order in time for school to begin. I don't know if you had any questions about that, either the case or, yes?
Just two questions.
Sure.
Something to think about. I don't know if you've already thought about it probably, but does this affect books that are available in the classroom and or in the libraries? And two, not to put a timeline on trying to figure this out, but would it be, do you think it would be ready for our next school committee meeting, which I think is August 14th? I was trying to think, get it ironed out before September 1st when school starts.
So for your first question, yes, it includes materials. And for your second question, that is very dependent on legal counsel availability. We've already been directed to secondary legal counsel, other than someone we work with primarily because of the workload that they have this summer. So it's going to be really dependent on their availability to help us. So I'm not sure if it'll be ready by the 17th, but it is our goal to have it ready as soon as possible. And so we'll get it to you as soon as we can.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Does Director Perez have any comments?
No, okay. Thanks. Oh, sorry, did you have a question?
Has DESE given any guidance to school districts regarding how to best handle this situation?
Not yet.
Okay.
MASC, your association, which we forwarded that information to you, has given some, but anytime we get guidance, whether it's from MASC, or even DESE, we always run by local counsel, which they recommend, and so that's what we're doing. We make sure that they have all the information that we get, and we go over that, and there may be regional or local or past history that affects how we write our language, and so we always consult local, district council before moving forward, so, yep.
I realize we have no choice in this situation, but do we have a sense of the financial implication of adding this amount of legal work?
Not yet, but I don't want to editorialize. I will simply repeat the justice summations. So Justice Sotomayor, for example, has a concern that this is kind of opening a floodgate for many requests that could be innumerable and very difficult to quantify. So if that is correct, it could have significant financial implications. Do we have evidence of that yet? Do we know that? No, but that is certainly a concern.
I think that's something that would be helpful for the school committee to be aware of as it continues to progress, simply because I know there's a lot of questions when we have to move funds around and manage these things. And we're obviously going into a tight budget year regardless. We also have the additional, we have another round of negotiations this year and contracts to be considerate of, and I want to make sure we're thinking through the implications of this.
And it is a fair concern because in Justice Alito's majority summation, there was a comparison made that was concerning in the sense that IEPs were referenced. So the suggestion that individual plans could be made for students in this arena, and that's just completely not reasonable. Special education falls under a different law. There's significant funding for that. We have positions in the district specifically allocated to that. It would not be possible for this without significant funding and staffing changes So that certainly does raise concerns, and that's fair for you to bring that up, but we have no evidence of that yet. It's a little concerning that the decision was made and that was a comparison made, perhaps without knowing the implication of that kind of comparison. So there's a lot yet to sort of be vetted in this.
Understood.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's something we can continue in the future to continue finding a way to keep track of and keep information on.
Oh, we
data
are
on as we
very, very closely
Yes.
tracking.
Yes,
all
I am
aspects
sure.
of this.
Just from our school committee purposes. Obviously,
Yes.
you all will be keeping a close eye on it, but
We'll
we
keep you
can
updated.
continue to monitor
Yep.
the implications, as it will have impacts as we
I
continue.
was
to
just going to add on to that, although we may not have everything set by the next school committee meeting, we can definitely have an update. Because we will have more information as the weeks progress. Next week is, I'm sure Dr. Cabral will talk about the MASS conference for the superintendents and the new Secretary of Education. I'm sorry, the commissioner will be there as well.
Carol's has her hand raised.
You have to acknowledge
Carol?
it.
Hi. I was going to say that unfortunately, this is one of those moments that Dr. Cabral had continuously mentioned about mandates, both coming from federal and state, where we don't know what the next step is. This decision was handed down in the middle of the summer, where all states are on sort of school vacation, where things can either be amended or be changed. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to be patient until we can, even in Massachusetts, the education federal mandates from the Department of Ed are off, either on pause or changing. So it's ever evolving. I don't know if we'll have a set answer for you by the next school committee meeting.
And she's referencing my discussion about unfunded mandates. This is an example of that.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Any other questions?
So many, but none that you need to cover today.
None that you can really answer. I just find this
This is
so-
recent. This is as of the Friday prior. So this is very, very new. We wanted to update you, and we will continue to update you. I know it's frustrating to not have all the answers, but we're telling you everything we know as timely as we have it.
I would describe myself as frustrated by the situation more than frustrated by not being.
Agree.
And I would probably guess that we are not the only school district in the Commonwealth or the country grappling with this very weighty issue
Yes.
in such a very inappropriate time of year. So it's not that Easton doesn't have answers, it's that nobody has answers right now, and
correct.
we're stuck.
Exactly.
I just find it difficult to comprehend why this, and I know none of us have the answer, but why this was a Supreme Court case and not just handled on the state level.
Well, it was, and then it is.
Right, but why they
Escalated.
agreed to it or however that works, I don't know how that works. But
It gets escalated as oh my gosh, the word just went away. When you go for an appeal.
Appeal.
Appeal, yes. Goes for an appeal. I don't know why that word just escaped me, but yeah. Yep. Okay, so the next iteration of the state budget is out. As we said, that continues to develop. There are not, most of the changes are not applicable specifically to Easton. However, the food, nutrition that we had talked about, that did increase slightly, but it still is not fully funded. Level funded does not obviously account for escalation of any costs, which we all know just by buying our own groceries has gone up quite a bit. So so it is still a concern. We don't know exactly how much we're going to get yet, but as soon as we do, we'll let you know. Again, this is just an update, but we don't have all of the answers yet. The federal grants. So the federal government just froze a significant amount of money in federal grants. Again, we told you that this was a concern, so it's not surprising, but it is noteworthy. So this specifically for Easton affects our professional development funding and are funding for our multilingual learners, which, as you know, that population is increasing very quickly. And so this is a concern. They are currently frozen. Whether they will be reinstated or not is unknown, but we have been told not to expect it, and certainly not to expect it for several months. So that significantly changes our planning in terms of professional development multilingual. Some of those are necessary and required, and so because of that, we may need to divert funds from other lines in order to cover those, but that is what we're working on now.
So those items are necessary and required by the state. We must.
Well, it depends. Not all professional development and not all of the services we provide to multilingual learners. Some of them are. And so we have to parcel those out, make sure those are triaged, and then we'll move to other needs. Things that are necessary to get done or are necessary in terms of the needs of the children are going to need to get done. And so that might be at the expense of some other items, and in a very lean budget, you can imagine the impact of that. So, yeah, so when people say have a great summer vacation and wonder what we do during the summer, this is just a small piece of never, the unexpected things, never mind the normal rollover that happens during the summer. So we, again, are keeping track of that, but again, wanted to update you on information that we get as soon as we get it.
How much federal funding do we receive for these two items last year?
Between the two, it's over $100,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just to note, in my 28 year, I'm entering my 28th year of education, that by this time of the year, we always know what the allocations are and have it all planned out already. So this is a big hole right now for us. In Easton, $100,000 is extremely important.
Are there any major PD events or like plans that are like being impacted in the first few months of school while it is frozen?
No.
That's what we're assessing
Right.
now.
Right.
Mostly, we're I don't want to say more concerned about multilingual learners,
Yeah.
but for example, things like the Supreme Court decision, things, these unfunded mandates that change, they involve education for staff as well. So things like that have to be done. So we just have to go through and parcel out when we can do things, how we can mitigate costs,
Right.
things like that. So that's what we're working on. And as Assistant Superintendent Pruitt said, we are attending the Massachusetts Association of School Superintendents conference next week. That is a very important conference for us, where we have the opportunity this time to meet the new Commissioner of Education, Pedro Martinez, as well as the Secretary of Education, Patrick Tutwiler, and our colleagues. So we tend to get updates on these items. MASS, the acronym for the organization, also has legal staff, and so they give us their most up-to-date legal guidance on this, which we then, as I said before, vet with our local or district legal, and so and our legal firm actually attends this as well. So we have an opportunity to hopefully get some information on this. These are very new developments, and so I'm cautiously optimistic that they may have some preliminary thoughts, not necessarily guidance. It's a little soon to expect guidance, I think, but we can at least give feedback, which they always share, and get their most recent thoughts, and certainly, at least from the commissioner, any information he's been able to get from his meetings at the federal level. We will bring you back any information that we get that, of course, is salient and applicable. And then I also wanted to note that the Tricentennial Parade is this weekend, and we have a lot of participation in that, so hopefully people can attend. That's one of the big events. And finally, certainly not least important, is I just wanted to give an update on our discussions about the facilities fees. And so I did provide you with some documentation. What we are looking to do here, we have heard and share frankly, the concerns of users of the facilities. We maintain our concern of costs and maintenance. However, we are slowing down, and we're asking, you already voted on these, and there is not a vote on tonight's agenda. And so I'll probably repeat this at the end of explaining this to you, but what we would ask for is for you to ask us any questions you have about this. We're hopeful that you will be supportive of this, which would be temporarily in place of what you voted on. We don't think that there would be significant objection from the public because it significantly decreases what you previously voted on and what we presented to you, and that you either at your next meeting, or if we can organize a workshop just for the vote of this, just to codify that. But we do want to put this into place as soon as possible because this was effective July 1st. We do have people that are utilizing the facilities. No one has been invoiced yet, so this doesn't affect anybody's payment, what they may have already paid, what they've been charged, anything like that. But that's why we have the sense of urgency, to try to make sure everybody's aware of this before we're invoicing anyone, and before anybody else reserves any spaces. So the first sheet that starts with fee classifications, this will all be available. Obviously, this is for your review first. We'll put this immediately on our website, and Director Kopaz is going to send this to all the contacts that we have that are renters, but also it will be available on the website and available on the website. And I will make sure to share it. I think I already said that. Share it with the contact list that we have. Yeah. Okay. And on the event software. Thank you. That was the third thing I was thinking of.
Dr. Clark,
Yes.
No invoices have been sent with the approved
Yes.
prices.
No invoices have been sent with the approved prices. He's just confirming
To
that.
anyone.
Correct.
Anyone Still invoicing on last year's prices.
Yes.
I see.
Okay. So if you take a look at the chart here, this is what we are looking to clarify going forward. These are our organization categories. So Group A, that is the Easton Public Schools activities, or that means OA lacrosse has a game. Okay, that's literally all of our activities, no fee. And approved school-related organizations or activities, and that would be things like the PTO using a space, the boosters running a program, things of that nature.
Steam night.
Steam
Right.
night, exactly. So there are two categories here, lease fee classification and additional charges. So lease fee classification and additional charges are not applicable for that category.
Okay.
No charges, obviously, that's already incorporated into our budget. For B, that's town government and groups that do not charge their participants. And just a couple of examples here, when we have town meeting in the Dalrymple Auditorium, when the fire or police department uses a space for training for employees, and there's no charge to participants, there is no fee. However, and this is going to be applicable to other groups, this nominal charge, additional charges. And what that means is so first of all, if there are outdoor or indoor spaces, a custodian is going to be hired for that purpose. Those related charges are on the next sheet. The optional additions, are things like AV equipment, furniture, things that are going to require labor to put in place. And that is only because not only do we have the financial issues that we have right now, but we also have a labor shortage due to some eliminations. And so we are being challenged right now with making sure that we are keeping ahead of our cleaning and maintenance of our school buildings in general. What happens, and I've mentioned this before, what happens is when we have an event that's going on in a school building, the custodian, let me just go back for anybody that isn't aware of how it happened before. We would not charge a custodial fee if it was during normal custodial hours. So if there was an event and the custodian was still here, it was 6 o'clock at night and we still had a custodian on staff on a Thursday night, we did not charge. But we're finding that we're shorthanded, and that means that when they're at the event or when they have to clean an auditorium or something after an event, they're just not able to get their duties done in the building, and we don't have any extra staff right now. So we are charging for that now. That is the difference. That's even if it's a government group, even if it's the fire department, very similar to them paying overtime for an on-duty police officer when they have a detail for those events. Same thing. We physically don't have the staff here to man that. And so contractually, in order to get a custodian here for that, we do have to pay them. And we have to pay them the overtime rate. And so that's what the rates on the next page reflect.
So that's being received by the staff working, like we're
Yes.
paying them to work.
Correct.
That as overtime.
That's exactly what it is, yes. And so, again, to get back to B, town government and groups that do not charge for participation, the examples that I were given, there is no lease fee, but the additional charge of a custodian, and if they had any optional requests for anything else, that costs us. It's just relaying the cost, because we just don't, not only do we not have it, but it's impossible for us to project what that is, to put it in a line, because we don't know how many times it's going to be used. C is philanthropic and not-for-profit organizations. Now, this is going to require some explanation. This is ultimately what we want to have as the charge. So right now it says, for example, and I'm just going to read it, not because I don't think you can, but just for the purposes for the public. Events for a philanthropic purpose sponsored by a nonprofit organization. A cancer relay, for example. An event sponsored by a nonprofit individual or group comprised of Easton residents where revenues are generated from special events for the benefit of the community. That would be, and again, nobody's being charged. The Town of Easton recreation, sports groups, for example, and any events sponsored by organizational recreational leagues or ad hoc community groups that are open to all youths or adults that charge participant fees. So that would be the individuals that gave us feedback, like youth lacrosse and so on. It says here that they will be charged Tier 1 lease fees. That is where we're moving toward, and we are right now working on what those fees are going to be. However, I just want to be very clear that what we have decided is that organizations that did not pay a fee last year, or whatever fee they paid last year, we are going to continue that for this year while we work on the new fee structure. Okay, is that clear, or do you want me to repeat it? It says here that they are going to be Tier 1, which ultimately they will. But if there's an organization that did not pay a fee last year because they were considered in a non-fee tier, they are not going to be charged a fee this year, not the new ones that you voted on or anything, until we have the new fee structure completed. However, just like the town and government officials using the facilities, it creates an expense for us now that we're short-staffed. And so the additional fees would apply, meaning a custodian, whether it's an indoor or outdoor, because even if it's outdoor, we need whether it's gates opened, we need supervision of the facility, we need the garbage taken away, we need all of those things. Mm-hmm. And so the cost of that nominal charge on the additional charges fee, but no lease fee, unless they were previously charged a lease fee, and it would be maintained until we come up with the new fee structure.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Question about that?
Dr. Gerwell, just
Yes.
to clarify, when you
Yes.
say the year, you're talking about our fiscal year,
I'm
correct?
talking about our fiscal year, our
Yes.
intention, thank you.
Yep.
Our intention is that we have an internal committee and we have been working on this, but we have an internal committee. We always respect and take feedback, which is what we're doing right now. And we are, our goal is to have that completed by the winter for implementation July 1st, 2026.
So, like, I wasn't on the committee when they voted in January to raise these
Yep.
fees. Do we have to vote to undo that? And we're going to vote
You
on a
do,
new set of
but it's
fees?
not on the agenda tonight.
Right.
So that's why I said we would like to move forward with this, or at least notify people that this is our intention for your possible vote at the next school committee meeting. Because
Well, we also, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we
Yes.
also have a meeting scheduled for, I think, the 22nd of July,
Yep.
which is kind of just like a school committee workshop-ish meeting. We could always put that on the agenda for that meeting as well to do a vote, if you need it sooner than August.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That's why I asked for perhaps a workshop, but now that you have that, that's perfect. But we would like to notify people as soon as possible, just so that, we can hopefully abate any concern that people have, especially those activities that have started and they weren't aware of your vote from January. We want to make sure that they understand that the only charges are going to be the custodians unless they have any of these optional charges, which will all be listed on the website. And these are not, like, for example, the Moscato Stadium lights, that's not a change. That has been on there. It's the same price. We haven't changed it. So while they're optional charges, most people are aware of these. But if they are in need of a light technician, sound technician, house manager, stagehand, that has always been a charge. It just hasn't always been a charge for everyone. Now it needs to be a charge for everyone because now it is actually costing us. The only addition on personnel is stadium manager. And that is because we have replaced the technology in the word recall.
Press box.
Thank you, press box. My goodness. The press box, we have replaced all the technology in the press box and we have to maintain that. And we have to protect that investment. And so if there is a need for announcing or scoreboard, things of that nature where they have to use the technology board, we do want to have a trained person there to make sure that it is used appropriately. We had somebody take a piece of equipment, and we can't have that. So we need to make sure that there's somebody there. That is a model that we've had in the Dalrymple Auditorium. Whenever somebody rents that, we have had a house manager. That has always been the case. But again, it's going to be a charge for everyone because that's going to be an expense for us, an unanticipated expense for us now. Okay, so then the last group, D, is any for-profit group, and individuals, groups, or organizations that aren't classified above. So a for-profit dance academy, for example. They will be the tier 2 price and the additional charges. And again, we are maintaining the tier 2 prices as well, but and the additional charges were always necessary, except, like I said, for the stadium manager. That's a new need. Okay, so that's the entirety of it with the charges. I just want to, again, sorry, the teacher in me, I just want to go back and sort of, in summation, see in terms of the ComRec League and the youth leagues that may not have had a charge before. They will not be charged. If they had a charge before, it will stay the same charge. The only addition we're making is for our expenses for custodian, or if there's a technician for the stadium or the Dalrymple Auditorium, or any cost that we are going to have to absorb because our on-staff custodians, even if school is in session, That's a change. Even if school is in session, we need them to be working on the school because we are so short-staffed right now.
I have a question. I don't know if this is opening a can of worms or if it's something we can discuss offline. But for the groups that were not charged, is it consistent of the type of group that was not charged in the past? Like, is it, and I'm just going to use this as an example, I'm not saying it's true or not, but was it soccer and basketball, but lacrosse was charged?
Not so much that, but there were some, there were a few things that we found to be incongruous with the rest. And so that these definitions of these tiers, they are different. And that's why. So we tried to make it more clear. In fact, I think B and C both said community groups. That's confusing because it was talking about two different kinds of community groups. So we're hoping that this is more clear, and it is going to have an explanation on the website with this, that tier 1 is going to be highlighted and say that is going to be the same tier 1 as last year for the next year, but the intention is that they will be paying tier 1 once that is identified what that's going to be. Does that answer your question?
Kind of.
Yeah. For the sports, like for the example you gave, it was pretty consistent, yes. But for some other examples, there were, well, I'll use a real example. I don't think it's private, but for example, I found, and Director Kopaz found, that the Dana Barros basketball, which is a for-profit organization, was in tier 1 for some rentals and tier 2 for other rentals. That's going to be corrected, but not the specific example you gave, like one sport yes, one sport no.
Okay.
Okay. Yes?
I want to clarify.
I'm not sure if you can be heard. You might need to grab the mic or come closer to us. Sorry.
I just want to make sure I clarify something. When Dr. Cabral says they're going to be charged the same as they have been, that's the same they have been, should have been based on the fee, the old fee structure.
Correct.
I just want to make sure, because we had one of the organizations say they were paying $43, right, an hour, last time we were here. There's never been
We don't have a
anywhere
$43, right.
$43,
If,
right?
if there were errors, we will correct them. That's true.
I just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you. Thank you.
If I can also just add that we did include the tennis courts and pickleball courts and outside basketball courts. That
Because
was
they
not on
weren't-
the previous list.
Yeah, they didn't exist before, so they were on the
Right.
previous list. So those are also additions so that people can use them. Oh, and something else I wanted to add.
You want to talk about the lights?
Yes, that's exactly what, thank you. That's scary, we're getting on the same wavelength. Scary for you. So we did talk about the lighting and charging for lighting. That is an indirect cost, obviously, that we absorb. However, we have determined that we are, other than the stadium lights, which is different because that's quite an expense and we don't want that on all the time. The courts, because they are new, we never had lights there before, or certainly not to this extent. So the pickleball courts, basketball courts, and the tennis courts, that is intended to be a community draw. And so, for example, if what we were thinking was similar to the stadium, if somebody reserves that, we put the lights on for that amount of time. However, that's different than the stadium in the sense that, and I know that from driving around on Saturdays or at night, if it's not reserved, we want a family to come and say, oh, let's use the tennis court. We want some of our students to say, oh, let's go have a pickup game on the basketball court. We don't want them to have to reserve that and ask for the lights to be on. They may not know that that's what they want to do. We analyzed the cost of the kilowatt hours, and I talked to the director of the DPW, and we have decided that we are going to, at least for the summer months, we're going to have the lights on in the courts until 10 p.m.
Oh, nice.
So it's not going to be something that students need to reserve to have a pickup basketball game. And I do believe that was the intention of the community use of the space. But I do also want to say that we were very mindful of examining the kilowatt hour cost, and that it is nominal enough that we feel that we can do that. Now, we may adjust the hours in the winter, certainly when they go on, because it's going to be a change. But for now, that is what we're doing. I think that's everything. Now, obviously, if people have continued questions about this, we want them to reach out and let us know. We are continuing to work on this and to fine tune it. And so more information will be forthcoming. But in terms of what we have tonight, this is what we would like to share with the community groups. Certainly, we want to share it with everybody, not just the people that have expressed interest in getting more information. So we're hoping to have your support to do that pending a possible vote on the 22nd.
Go ahead.
And I just wanted to just add one more thing. I'm just to kind of reiterate, the prices of the places are not increasing. They're staying the same as last year, but the prices of the personnel have increased slightly.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's just based on contractual increases
Correct.
of the labor.
Yeah.
Now, and the assistant superintendent is saying it's not increasing. It's not increasing right now.
Correct.
We are examining the cost.
Yeah.
We are examining many factors that get far more complicated than, maybe a community organization that runs things. We also have the direct and indirect costs of the facility, so it gets more complicated. So we are still continuing to work on that. Again, our goal is to be done by the winter. We will be sharing updates with you, and so the public can give feedback if they would like. We do have a committee, and while we're taking feedback, we don't feel like we're necessarily going to have community groups or vendors on the committee, only because it's a bit of a conflict of interest to have a dance academy come and help us determine what the costs are going to be for the dance academy to use the facility. So we are hammering that out first. We will present it. We'll absolutely take feedback, but that's what we're looking to do first, to present to you for your consideration.
I think that would be appreciated.
It would be helpful for the meeting to have a before fee, what the proposed fee was in January, what this new fee is, even if they're the same, just had 3 columns to compare.
Do you mean for your vote?
For the vote.
Okay.
If possible.
Like in
That'd be-
a presentation deck versus like an Excel document. It's
Oh,
overwhelming.
I was going to say Excel document.
Okay.
I was actually going to say a
I
nice,
just
clean
wanted
little
3
Excel
columns
too.
next to each other.
If you could just write it on the board for us.
I think a spreadsheet would be perfect for what we need to, something simple like that.
I agree. One more question on this. For the tier 2 folks, have they all received a notification about the change in fee structure?
The tier 2 is actually that is the group that's going to remain the same. They always did. Oh, sorry. That's not
Sorry,
what you
the
mean.
group is, no, that's not what I meant.
Okay.
So I'm not saying it correctly. The tier 2, those who, like the dance studios, who have rented from us before, I thought that their rates went up, that we voted to increase their rates.
Yes.
Do they know that their rates are increasing?
No, neither does.
Like,
Yes.
did we notify them since our
yes.
January increase?
However, we haven't shared this with them pending your
Okay.
sort of support to move forward.
Okay.
We're going to let them know that this is how we're maintaining it for this year until
But
the
for them, it
committee and
shouldn't
all that.
change because that's what they've already been notified about.
I think that's the point of confusion. Sorry.
No.
So tier 2, let me try saying it a different
No,
way.
I think I
you're all
understand.
giving us a head shake, and I'm like, I
No,
think I know what you're
understand
saying.
what you're saying.
So
All of
tier
our
2.
communications to vendors that have used the facilities all this past school year every single invoice, if they've rented from us in the last year, they all said that the charges were increasing
Okay.
from the beginning of the school year.
Okay.
And then you voted on the charges in January, and it said that they would be posted on the website, and then you voted on the charges in January, and they were posted. So can I tell you exactly who knew and who didn't? No, but they were notified.
Okay.
But now they're going to be notified that we're taking this tack.
So
Does that make
even for,
sense?
it does, but I thought this whole time we were only discussing tier 1. So the tier 2
Well, that's who
folks-
expressed concern.
Understood.
But we're
So
considering
in
all
my
of it.
head, that's how I equated it all.
Okay.
So now so tier 2 will also be frozen
Correct.
with the prior set of
Correct.
of charges. I didn't get that this whole time.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yes.
Nope. Yeah. Everybody else might.
I
have,
know,
just
I
not me.
spent a lot of time on the tier 1 expense for the obvious reasons, but you are correct.
Okay. Was I the only one who didn't?
It doesn't
It's just me,
matter.
okay.
It's valid.
all
It
good.
doesn't matter if you were or not.
It's all good. I just spent time explaining it. So okay. Got it. So everyone's structures are frozen for 1 year
Correct.
in the prior one. Okay. Got it.
Except for the additional
Except for the
charges.
additional charges. Yes. Except for the staffing.
Okay.
Well, it's not just staffing, it's also if they use AV equipment, if they need tables and chairs, and again, that's our labor and the need to, yeah, okay.
Okay. Personal and so it's the.
It's this, yeah, personnel and
A la carte.
lease fees. Yeah, it's an à la carte, yeah, they don't have to have it, but they are gonna have to have a custodian and/or a technician if they use Dalrymple or Moscato Stadium.
Okay. Thank you. Is that it? Anything more?
Not unless there are other questions.
No, I was just going to say I appreciate that you are looking at this. I think considering all of the potential changes we're going to have to make over the next year, I think it's going to be really helpful to kind of have to look at it all together. So I appreciate you taking a second look at.
Absolutely.
I agree.
That's all I have for superintendent announcements.
Okay, thank you. Assistant Superintendent.
I just wanted to let you know that the extended school year program started this week in grades K through 12, PK through 12. And the C program, the minimal C program that we're able to conduct also started with our Bridgewater State University partnership, which has been fantastic. We have 2 wonderful coordinators that are running it, Stephanie Sanpietro and Mary Lamb, with some more coming in to help out. And I just have to give a shout out to Karen Diamond, the secretary at Blanche James. She has just been so instrumental at supporting the program this week and will continue to do so. So just wanted to let you know, credit recovery and summer school for OA for students that have lost credit or failed a class, that will begin on Monday this coming week. And the high school's ready for that. And that's kind of all we have right now. That's all I wrote down. I'm sure I'll think of something once we leave, but that's all I have.
Thank you. School committee notes. Jim?
Dr. Brawl already said it, but
Sorry.
excited. Oh, no, for the Easton 300 parade this
Sorry.
Saturday. Should be a fun day. That's it for me.
Cool. Kelly?
I don't have any tonight. Thank you.
I do not either. Jackie?
I was just going to say we have our first budget subcommittee meeting coming up in a couple of weeks. So hopefully Jim and I will have an update for you all on that meeting in August.
And I don't have anything either. I hope everyone is having a great summer. And if we don't have any notes, then we are good to go.
You need
And
a vote for
I'm
Okay,
getting
sorry.
there.
Sorry.
I thank you all for your support during my first meeting ever to chair.
A+.
I wouldn't go that far.
A.
I would
Good
say C+.
Oh, no.
Oh, you did a great job.
Yeah, no, you did great.
Okay.
I'll give you a B+. Does that make you feel better?
Thank you. Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Perseo, second.
Roll call vote.
Wiseman, yes.
Loomis, yes.
Perseo, yes.
Proudler, yes.
Hamilton, yes.
Thank you, folks. Have a great night.
Tony, is that the remote?
For the air conditioning?
Can you shut I wish I knew it was there. I would ask you to shut it off a long time ago.
Our spots.
But can you shut? We're like right in line.